We have a long list, and so I want, because of time, I want to call to the podium a TV personality, a journalist, he was a former councillor, the last council that dissolved not so long ago on February 28th. His name is Dion Abrams, he is from Boston. Brother Abrams!
Okay, brothers and sisters, it's difficult to come after a man like Freddie Kisoon and to talk. But I guess that the PPP that we're dealing with, they have done so much that we can have a million speakers and we can find issues to talk about them. The fact is, as other speakers that have told you, the PPP is afraid. And we have to make that a fair of victory. But we cannot win these elections if you, the people, do not play your role. It is important that every child above the age of 18 and every senior citizen and every middle-aged citizen come out on the day of the elections and cast their ballot for the APNU AFC. I have been saying to all the meetings that I've been to that over the years we've had the experience of many of our young people saying that they would not vote, and because we understand the reason, that's because of a failed education system, a system that has rendered them incapable of reading and writing properly, so that they are afraid that when they go to the polling stations that they will be exposed. But I am saying to these young people that there will be no exposure in the polling places. The only thing you have to do is to know where to put that X. And if you don't know, then you can ask someone close to you to show you where you are supposed to put the X on the ballot paper. You don't have to sign anything. You don't have to read anything. All you have to do is to make a mark for the future of yourself, for the future of your children, for the future of this country that we so love. You know, one of the things, as Freddie would have been pointing out, is that the PPP has nothing of substance to tell us about the way forward for this country. So what they're trying to is really find individuals so they will pick on Calvinage, they will pick on this person, and if you ask them what is the future for Guyana, they have nothing to tell you. True, my brother. What we want are the plans for the young people of this country. What we want are the plans for our nurses and our teachers. What we want are the plans for our old folks who have worked so hard in this country and cannot even survive a week on the pensions that they're receiving. And that simpleton that Gio can boast that his pension wasn't something that he accrued to himself. He didn't give himself the pension. And if you didn't give yourself it, if you don't want it, why not refuse? He is not doing that. Right, so we are fools. So he can fool us. We don't understand the suffering that people are going through. And this suffering is not suffering for one section of the society. Because black people seem to think that the PPP has brought suffering only to black people. This is not true. The entire country is in a crisis. And that is why Judge Leo could have stood up at that press conference and said that Moses Nagamutu was talking about giving 30%. of this country that he would not know. The fact is, nobody knows except Jack Pugh and the PPP. Because they have been raping the resources of this country. And they have been falsifying all of the figures that they've been giving to the international community and fooling us into believing that progress is taking place. We have seen progress 20 years. 23 years are a long number of years. And in any country, you will see progress. But what kind of progress? We could have been miles ahead of where we were if our resources were not squandered in the way that the PPP would have been squandering it. The number of dollars, the amount of money that would have been lost in projects and schemes that they have devised so that they could rip us off. If those monies were used for the real benefit of this country, people would have been living far better. Yes. And so, every day as a teacher, we have problems with our young children at school because they go to school hungry. And so every day we have to be fighting a fight. And what are they fighting for? Some child is bullying another for $20 or $40 because they have gone to school without anything to eat. And so they are looking for those who have so that they can take it away from them to fill their empty stomachs. And they are talking about progress and youth and improving education. Some of the things they can't learn the people. How can they concentrate if they have empty stomachs? And they talk about the improvement in your education system is doing so well, and yet they are not sending their children to this institution that they say is doing so well. So who are they fooling? Who are they really fooling? They have taken us for granted for too long, and that is why yes, it is our duty. It is our duty to ensure that every single person on the list in their community is accounted for on the day of voting. We cannot continue in this way. Brother Henry just spoke to you about the way they have been dealing with development in this country. The PPP is a racist cabal. They emphasize racism in every way. And they've been using that to divide the country, as would have been explained by Freddie. But this coalition is going to take this country back. And we are going to ensure that development is for every community in this country. You know, Stanley Ling was talking about the road from Dazel. And he was talking about the benefits that that road would have brought to this country. But I've been telling people that the fragile road will never be realized until the PPP can find a way to circumvent that road passing through Linden. They want to talk about the deep water harbor in Berbice because their intention is to bypass Linden so that the road will go somewhere to Berbice. And to continue to starve Linden, to starve people who they believe are not their supporters. The easiest thing to do, if you want to win people's support, is to give them your kindness, show them your love. But racism does not have that. And that is why every scheme that Jack Pugh has devised is a scheme in which he has tried to oppress one section of the society and to fill the pockets of those that are close to them. And this is what we are fighting against. And this is why this movement is so important. Because for years we have been talking about unity. And now that we have achieved that, we cannot let it slip through our hands. It is frightening to them. And so the first thing that they they were trying to do was to bastardize the coalition. They've been going to the Indian communities and saying, look what they have done. They promised that they will not, the AFC and Governor House, join with either the PPP or the PNC, but they have gone and given their votes to the PNC. They're not talking about the other parties, because for them, the very Indians is the PNC. And so everything they talk about is the PNC. They have told them that if the AFC and APNU coalition wins, that people are going to go back to breadline and all this kind of nonsense. Now they have been hiding every fact, fabricating information, telling upon the lies. When they took over this country, and only today Christopher Ram revealed that when they took over the country in 1992, they took over a country that was booming, that was on the road to recovery. And for several years, 9-10 years, that was the program that was started under the PNC that they have been using. And since then, they have come up with nothing. They have come up with nothing. They are bankrupt of ideas. And these are the people who want to continue to live on the backs of their knees. If we give them that chance, we are going to be terribly sorry. You understand this myth that we have been developing when you see what has happened to the major industries in this country. The sugar workers are now up in arms because they have realized that they've been fed a bunch of lies and that they have shut down most of their estates in the Marara. I know they're trying with the LBI estate, and they're telling the workers to go to M4, and every day they're protesting. This is what is going to happen, because sugar is basically not making money for this country. That is another lie that Jackie said, and our journalists sat down there and listened to Jackie telling them that sugar is bringing in important foreign exchange to this country. What kind of foreign exchange? The simple man in the street would know that if you buy something for $30 and you sell it back at $13, that you're not making any profit. And that is what they're telling us, that they're benefiting from sugar. We understand the importance of the sugar industry. We understand that if it is shut down, that the lives of numerous persons will be affected. But we also know that the people who are there cannot fix the problem that they've created. And so the sugar workers should understand that. That as long as Jackie and Ramadan are there, that the sugar industry will continue to go down the drain. What have they been doing? Every year the European Union gives them millions of dollars because the Europeans understand that they are responsible in many ways for the failure of the sugar industry. But they have not been putting that money into the sugar industry. The management of the sugar industry is not people who understand anything about proper management. Ramadan himself was there. The industry is failing, and they put a CEO that lives overseas, for whom every time there is a board meeting he has to be flown in and put up at some big hotel. This is the kind of management that we're talking about. These are the sensible people that we have managing our country. The rice industry is also in crisis. Farmers are planting rice, and the millers are getting $2,800 per bag, and they want to give the farmers next to nothing. The price now is that, and the price that they're offering them, the farmers will not be able to even plant back the field. And these are the areas that their supporters are involved in. And so that is why I'm saying that the economy is on a tremendous strain. but the fall in prices is now affecting us. But what have they been doing with our gold? You know what has been happening. It's not in the mansion, they have it in the mansion, but they're flying it out in private jets, and they're shipping it out by the bullion in ships that are being seized outside of them. And then there is the cocaine trade. It is the illicit activity that has been keeping Guyana afloat. And so when they talk about all these buildings that are going up, where are the people getting the money? Don't you know the issue? And that is why you as a people, your input is of absolute importance. And we have to come upon our youth to make that change. Those guys who lie by the street corners, I know I have, at least in my village, some guys who said that they're dreadlocks and me, you better talk to them. Because they're saying that they're Rastafari, and they ain't dealing with that. What kind of Rastaman you be? Anytime you're talking about being a Rasta, you're talking about liberating yourself, emancipating yourself. So you can't tell me that a time has come where you can make a difference, and you're telling me that you're deaf from so with me. You ain't no Rastaman for me. So you gotta preach to all these people, let them understand the role that they have to play. Because if we do not do that, the PPP is going to find ways. They are not going to go down easily. They are going to find every scheme to try to get back into power. And we have to resist. We have to be vigilant. And so we have to guard the ballot boxes. The last time people followed the boxes all the way to Collegian and saw them trying to exchange them. You've got to do the same thing this time. Because when you're guarding the boxes, you're guarding the future of your children. You're guarding your own future. And you're guarding the future for the development of this beloved country of ours. So brothers and sisters, Brother Henry said that there are many people here who have to speak. And I am hoping that this message will be carried and that each and every one of us will begin the work of educating our young people and making them understand that their role is of vital importance to making a difference in this beloved land of ours. Are you ready, my brothers and sisters? Are you ready? So come 12th of May, we can all be singing the song of victory. Let's move forward as one people, one nation, with one destiny.
Yes, so much things to say. I ain't come to fight flesh and blood, but spiritual wickedness in higher low places. So you know the thing, if one don't know themselves, they can't plan their future. And the Emperor Selassie